Hey guys, how are you? This is my Mastering Fundamentals walkthrough video. I'm going to go ahead through the bullet points here and take you step by step. I'm going to go ahead and run the application. So I chose states as my input. So the first things first, allows the user to input text. Allows the user to click on a UI control that will add the text to a collection. So if you can see, I added Florida there, and here I have Florida in my data set. I'm printing it out to the console. The data collection will hold only unique entries. So if I add Ohio here and I submit it, that'll work fine. That'll get added because it is a unique entry. If I could get this thing to work. Right there. However, if I try to add Florida one more time, my number doesn't change, and neither does the print. So I still just get Ohio and Florida, even though I added Florida a second time. And I did that using a hash set. Display the average length of entries in the data collection. I have a method here that will calculate the average. However, I couldn't hold the different characters. So as I loop through the array, I take out a state, I turn that state into an array of characters, and I could print out the length of that state. However, when I loop through the second time around and I pick the second state, I get the length of characters for just that one state instead of having both combined. So that was something that I ran into an issue with. And then finally, allow the user to select an entry from the data collection by indexing into the set. So as you know, I already have Florida and Ohio there, so I'm going to go ahead and ask for Ohio, and my list does contain Ohio. However, if I ask for a state that is not in the list, then I will get my list doesn't contain Kansas. Proper input type for text, and reset the views. So whenever I type in a name here, my view resets as well. When I do it here, it resets as well. Proper UI controls for accepting clicks in the buttons. Proper data collection for unique data sets, which I use the hash set. Displayed collection size is always accurate, which is always accurate right here. And then use a custom method to calculate the average length, which I ran into some issues. I went over that already. The proper alert method is used to display requested entries. And that's it right there. The biggest issue I ran into, besides the calculating of the average, was my GitHub and pushing the code. I'm usually fairly good with GitHub and pushing code, but even though I created the repository here, when I would add the remote origin and I would push to that origin, it would say the repository is not found, which is really odd, and it's never happened to me before. But other than that, everything went well. If you have any questions, please, or comments, leave them below, and I'll see you next week.